Hi, I'm Aaron Zapata, and you may not care about real estate, but this isn't a real estate story. This is a story about this home and what I believe was almost a great injustice to this homeowner. So this homeowner, her name is Kathy. She was approached by somebody who wanted to quickly purchase the home. This guy was a sweet talker. She admitted that he sounded great. He made a lot of great promises. But this property in Anaheim, small home, was offered $360,000. And the little bit of background about this home, and this is why I believe it's important to share the story, is that my client, her husband, was just recently diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And so my seller, she became my client, was really in a very difficult position in life. She had a rental now that she'd inherited from her mom, fully paid for, free and clear. And she had renters in there, they had moved out, and she gets approached by a nice young gentleman offering to buy her house for $360,000. Now, I did some research, and in Orange County, there are only like 4 houses, maybe 6 houses that are listed for under $400,000. And I had worked with Kathy in the past selling another property that she was a trustee of. And she called me kind of in a frantic panic. She told me what was going on. Thankfully that day I was in the office, didn't have any appointments scheduled in the afternoon, and I quickly did some comparable sales and analysis and went over to the house to meet her and her husband there. And almost with fear and shaking, I could just tell she was overwhelmed. She wanted no hassles dealing with the new reality of what her life was going to be looking like. She knew she couldn't keep the rental. She knew she didn't have the resources to upgrade the house, to do anything to it. And she just wanted a quick solution. And this offer was right there on the table. And I went through the information that I had prepared with her, and I basically said, look, Kathy, you could do this. You would have the money in 7 days if everything goes as planned. And I think that that is definitely one option you should consider. But at the same time, I want you to consider what I think the house is really worth. And given your situation, medical bills, care bills, everything's going to be increased now as you go through this new life that you have been diagnosed with your husband. And she understands, she agreed, and I just said, look, face value, I could probably get you at least $12,000, maybe $15,000 more, unless we create a bidding war or something for your house. And her main concerns were, Aaron, I don't have any money to put into it. I can't do anything to the house, and I can't upgrade it. So those are 2 things. One is I can't upgrade it. I can't make any repairs. Number 2, time is of the essence. Like I do want to take care of this quickly. And so I went through the comps with her, the comparable sales, and I said, you know what, here's the options. Even if after you pay my commission, because this guy wasn't going to have any commissions, I think you can still get at least $12,000 more. It's going to take 30 days, not 7, and maybe 45 days, not 7, but for that extra 45 days, you're making an extra $12,000 to $15,000. So we priced it at $400,000. And keep in mind, this is, again, a cute home in a great little neighborhood. Needs a lot of work. Smokers had lived in there for 15 years, and so it had that smell when you walked into it. Before we put it on the market, I sent in my cleaners, had the house cleaned. I sent in some other, actually they helped with the yard, in the backyard. And basically I took photography and helped clean it up a little bit, and we put it on the market at $400,000. That induced a huge bidding war, and this was in the middle of December when homes don't typically sell. But we ended up getting over 12 offers. We got a lot of email, verbal, hey, would you client take this, in that 350 to 360 range. But going to the open market, we ended up getting a young couple who was desperate to look, for a home of their own. And they, in that price point, are getting beat out by cash investors all the time. So what ended up happening is that we ended up selling the home to a young couple. They're engaged. This is right near their family. They had been living out of the county in Corona, and they wanted to move back here into Orange County near their family. We ended up selling the house for $420,000 as is, no repairs. And in fact, the agent that worked on the buyer side just went above and beyond. Someone, I don't know who it was, called City of Anaheim Code Enforcement. I had to go down to the Code Enforcement office. I had to request a review and figure out what was the violations. It turns out that we needed to just show that the garage wasn't converted into living quarters, and there was a patio that had been built that didn't have permits. And so the buyer's agent went above and beyond and took care of the patio structure, because we marketed it and sold it as is, no repairs. And that buyer's agent was phenomenal. So Alvaro, it's your story as well as mine, but went over to the house, took down the patio, moved the water heater, did some stuff that we needed to do to get code enforcement to go ahead and clear the house, which they did, and then we just closed escrow. My sellers walking away with, after paying commissions and fees, over $30,000 more than they would have had they gone to this first option. Again, it was her choice, but what she needed at the moment was not pressure to sell the house quickly. She needed somebody to guide her through the process. We had title problems, we had city problems, we had appraisal, things that needed to be worked out, we had heating issues in the house. I mean, we had a ton of issues, all of which would have still been a problem had she gone through it with somebody else without anybody to guide her through it. So I'm thankful for Kathy. I'm thankful for her husband. I'm thankful for the buyer's agent and the buyers who get to have this wonderful house here in Anaheim. And I'm thankful that she made the call to me. She was so close to signing that letter. I'm glad she didn't, and I'm glad now she's got more money in her pocket, and she knows that everything was done above board, according to plan, according to the transactional requirements, to get through it without any looking over her shoulder, wondering, did she do something right or wrong? It's my goal to empower homeowners to make confident and informed decisions about their house. I gave her the option. It was up to her to decide. And it's up to you to decide. Do you want to make an informed decision so that you can feel confident that you're making the right decision? If you're looking at your options and you're trying to consider what you're doing, I would love to help you through that process. You can reach me at the contact information below. You can look me up on my website at aaronzapata.com. I'm always a phone call, a text, or an email away. Or you can come to my office here. We'd love to have you here, show it to you, sit down on this blue couch, and just talk through your options. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm thankful again for Kathy and her husband and for making this a successful sale. And I'm super excited for the young family that gets to make their new life in this home. God bless you. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.